Hello, my name is Tina Jones. I've been on the Atkins diet for a very long time, and I thought I'd try to make us some dinner. And this is something that I've made before several times, except for one new thing that I got inspired from Kent Altana's Atkins videos. I'm going to start with something that I've done pretty often, and this is just 4 slices of bacon in a skillet, and I'm going to make something like ham and beans, only I'm going to use bacon. So these are my kitchen shears. You can most certainly cook this up and crumble it afterwards, but I'm going to turn my heat on, kind of a high to medium high, and these will get cooked up here in the skillet, and I'm going to cut and come right back. Okay, I got the bacon cut up in the skillet, and it's just starting to warm up in here. I'm going to go ahead and let that cook, and in the meantime I'm going to start one of the other dishes. The next thing I'm going to do is, believe it or not, a faux crackling cornbread. These are real cracklings, and I'm using about 1 ounce of a 4-ounce bag of Max. Original, has 0 carbs. I'm using 1/4 of the bag, and all I'm doing is breaking this up in smaller pieces. And if you all are like me, you may remember breaking beans on the porch. I have really missed Southern cooking, and this brings me home. I'm going to break these up and be right back. Okay, I've got my cracklings broke up into smaller pieces. Just lost one. It's not real good. But believe me, I'll be going after that one in a little bit. But what I'm going to do is pour just a tablespoon of water over the top of these. Just sprinkle it over the top. I'm going to toss that around just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add another tablespoon. And the only reason I'm doing this, splash a little bit so it became a little less, about a tablespoon and a half. The only reason I'm doing this is to soften these up a little bit. They start feeling loved after just a little while. So I'm just going to set that aside. If there's any water left, I'll drain it off. And also, anytime you see water in my kitchen, I drink it. It's no cause. Okay, I'm going to give my bacon a little stir. Isn't that pretty? My goodness. I've always loved bacon, but I don't think I realized how beautiful it was until I started this diet. I was always one of those people who would, be decadent and have a piece of bacon every once in a while. So I used to do that low-fat stuff. It would kill me. But now I get to indulge on food that's really good. So that artificial stuff, and extra carbohydrates and sugars. I'm turning this down just a little bit. I want to render out some of that fat. Okay. The next thing I'm going to start with is I saw Mr. Altana made a flex bread. It was a 2-serving one. He made it in a flat bottom cereal bowl. I'm going to write a blog and put these recipes on my website. But this is definitely after his bread, but I'm going to make a few changes. Alright, what he started out with was a tablespoon of butter, and you can measure this if you want to, but I'm going to tell you, an extra millimeter of butter is not going to add a single carb to you. I'm going to put this in my microwave for just a few seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000. This has been sitting at room temperature, so it's not going to make a lot of difference. I could probably use it like it was. Alright, some good looking butter. The next thing I'm going to add is I've got some golden flax meal, and this is Bob's Red Meal, and it's of course 4 carbs, 4 fiber. This is coming out to 0 net carbs. And fiber's good for you. I don't find I need as much of it as I used to when I was eating flour, but it's still good for you. There's 1 tablespoon. Just rubbing this on the side to smooth it out. 2 tablespoons. And it's already looking like cornbread to me. I will very often use the brown flax meal. I don't mind too much what things look like. If they taste good, I'm there. I'm getting 1 egg out of my fridge. And my butter's not super hot, so it's not going to cook my eggs. And I'm going to crack that. And let's see. What do I need here? Looks like I've left something out. Hang on just a second. I need half a teaspoon of baking powder as per his recipe. And I tried it just like he did it, and it was wonderful. That's how I do it. My hands are clean. You know, even if they weren't, you're the one eating it, so it's up to you. The thing that I'm going to do differently is that I'm going to put my cracklings in here, and I'm going to add, this is Bob's Red Mill again. This is almond meal, and you can see this has been used in such small amounts. I don't eat a lot of nuts or almond meal because it has held up my weight loss a few times. So I've rolled it and unrolled it and cracked it. You know, it's still good stuff. All I'm going to put in here is 1 tablespoon. The reason is I wanted that gritty texture, that is in cornbread. And this was what I could think of to put in there. And I'll tell you, the end product does not taste like almonds. Alright, there's that. And you can tell I've got about as much batter here as I do cracklings. I'm going to scrape these out, and you know they have absorbed all that water. And I'm going to stir this together. It's going to look awful thick, I know. And I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I just want everything good and incorporated. And you'll scrape down your sides and just pat this kind of into the middle. And it'll be lumpy because of those cracklings in there. Alright, I'm going to microwave this on high for 2 minutes. Check my bacon. Oh, you know, I could just cry sometimes looking at this. It's okay if you want to take a moment, you know, wipe a little tear or something. It'll be alright. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off on my bacon. It's done, it's crisp, it's still got a little bit of soft spots in it, and I don't mind that in the least. That's, you know, bacon comes in different textures. Again, I just flicked a piece on the stove, and don't think I won't be going after that. Microwave was my crackling corn flax bread getting done. So got these in my bowl. It's going to be my serving bowl. This is 1/2 of a cup of Eden black soybeans. This is not regular black beans. Regular black beans have loads of carbohydrates. These do not. This says that in 1/2 of a cup we have 8 carbohydrates. 7 of those are fiber. So this is 1 carbohydrate, the whole 1/2 cup. I'm going to put it here in my rendered bacon. Make sure I get all that out of there. Now you can smash some of these up a little bit with a fork if you want to make it a little bit thicker. However you like to do it. This is a ham flavored bouillon. It's 1 carb for a teaspoon of it, and I'm going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon. And a little thick. Whoops. This is ham-flavored bouillon, and it's 1 carb for a teaspoon of it, and I'm going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon in this bowl. So I'm just scraping it out here, scraping it on the side, and I'm going to try to get it out of my spoon here. Alright. I'm going to stir this around a little bit because I want, I've reserved a little bit of the broth from the black Eden soybean, so it's wet in there. And I'm stirring these around. Oh man, this is beautiful. I am going to go ahead and smash some of these down in the side here. And not all of them. I like some whole beans, but a little bit. And it's just making a kind of paste that, not real pasty, but I'm going to stir that around in there, and that's going to thicken my juice a little bit. I'm going to set that aside, and we will microwave that when the rest of our meal is done. It'll all be hot together. This is finished, except for adding pepper as you like at the end of it. Okay. Now, with our bacon grease, leave my pans cool enough. What I want to do is pour it off and see if I can do it this way. You can see. And it's awfully hot. Wait till that stops dripping. I'm going to set it back over here on my burner, and it's not super cold, obviously, you know. But what I'm going to do is take, I have 1/2 a cup of mixed greens here. These are turnip and mustard. You can use collard greens. You can use collard greens, spinach, and anything that you like. Personally, I love mustard greens and turnip greens. I like a little bit of bite to them. Collard greens also has that. I think probably spinach is going to be the softest ones. You can use frozen if you want. You just put it in the pan, put a lid over it, wait 7 or 8 minutes, and it'll cook down. If you're looking for 1/2 cup of that, start out with 2 cups of fresh or frozen. I'm sorry, fresh. If it's frozen, you can go ahead and go with just the 1 cup like I have here. It's sizzling because that skillet is still hot. Right. And we've got some tasting that bacon fat in there. I'm going to put a tablespoon of it back in here. Now this is just 1 serving. I'm going to hold off on salt. You can't really tell if you're going to need any when you use bacon. I'm just going to let that simmer. I'm going to turn my heat on low. Just let it do it for a while. Move my soybeans. And we're going to go back and check on our bread. Alright. Our bread has come out of the oven and it pulls away from the sides. I couldn't just flip it over and take it out, but you can just run a knife and it wants to come out right away. I like the texture on the top, and I found that the bottom is just a little moist for my taste. So, what I'm doing is I'm going to turn this over, and again, just a little bit of moisture there, and you see the steam coming off of it. And I like to put this in my toaster oven, and I'm just going to set it on toast. Okay, our bread's about to come out of the oven, and we are almost ready to serve this up. Need a pot holder here, and I'm going to pull this out. Put this back. I don't believe I'll need it. There's a knife, and that bottom has gotten crisped up. Go ahead and flip this over. Now, what I do with it is I cut it. I want it to look like cornbread, so I'm not going to cut it this way. I've got a good bread knife here, and you will feel the cracklings as you're cutting through, but it will go through. And I just cut this in 4 slices. And I will show you, if I can, what it looks like. And it's just steaming up here. And you see little bits of crackling in there. Alright. Now all I do is I cover this with just butter. But you can certainly take a little bit of a sugar-free syrup, and that's what they would do if this were Johnny cakes, you know, fried in a pan. Kind of a flat cornbread pancake in the South, what they might do is give you molasses or, you know, something real sugary to go on it. And I'm not shy about butter. I just, butter and water, if I can get a little bit more in, I will. So, that's our cornbread. And I'm going to replate all of this, and I'll send you a picture when I'm done. I want to tell you that if you have one serving of this, that's half, the whole bowl of all of it, the total carbs are 2.7. Be right back. Alright, well there's our dinner, or lunch, or breakfast, or however you want to call it. This is my bacon and beans. Could be ham and beans if that's what you choose to use. I just like bacon. This is our mixed greens with bacon fat. These are our flax bread turned into crackling cornmeal. This is 2.7 carbs for the whole dish. And well, let me get a small spoon so you can see. Here's my hand, if you see how big things are from there. This is a small spoon, and this is pretty deep. I think that'll be good for you. It's a half cup. And I find the bread very filling. Again, that is the recipe Mr. Alton used for the quick flax bread, and I've turned it into a crackling faux cornbread. Additions are black pepper. You can use, and I probably would, a little bit, I'll say a teaspoon, a sprinkling of white vinegar on the greens. White vinegar I don't believe has any carbs. Stay away from cider vinegar or balsamic vinegar, or add the carbs that are in them. This is a salsa. It can certainly be added to the beans. This is I believe this is 1 carb for 2 tablespoons, and check your labels, of course. Others are, I believe, 2 carbs for 2 tablespoons. Sour cream could be added to this. Just all sorts of things. You can chop up just a little bit of green onion. That's how I always love to do it. I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching. This is my first cooking video, and I had a whole lot of fun. Bye-bye.